Good evening. Welcome to the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District Board meeting of January 7th. The board did meet in closed session with no reportable action. Betsy, would you please lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. You can be in the comforts of your own seat if you prefer to. Yeah.
Ready? You get.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
True story. Whoever sits pretty much right there has to do the, just so you know. Thank you. Let's do that. So, Superintendent Kramer, are there any changes to the presented agenda?
No changes.
Would any board member care to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you for that. Moving to 7.0, I have no public comment cards. Is there any public comment at this time? Seeing none, I will close public comment and move to our student representatives. North Tahoe, are you here?
So, President Driller, we heard from Principal Mitchell. North Tahoe High School is excited to be back, but they didn't have any updates because we just had a meeting right before winter break.
Perfect.
And then our Coldstream and Sierra High School representative is competing right now in a Nordic, so good luck to Quinn Holen.
Oh, right.
But on their behalf, I will share that we just got word that Coldstream got a certificate for their mid-year WASC visit. So congratulations to the Coldstream staff and Principal Santos on that mid-year certificate. And then what we weren't sure is Truckee High. I'm assuming probably not. We've only been back in school 3 days and just had 2 days after our last meeting. So,
Well, we'll just close student representatives. Moving to 9.0, Superintendent Kramer.
yes, and for this, I'm delighted to invite up our principal of North Tahoe School, Mr. Chad Lundeen. Welcome.
That was quick.
Is it on? There you go.
Check. So that was quick. Usually we have a couple more minutes before we start. Good evening, Superintendent Kramer, members of the board. My name is Chad Lundeen, and it is my pleasure to serve as the principal at North Tahoe School. First, I'd like to thank our art teacher, Mr. Andrighetto, and his fabulous students for sharing their work in the boardroom tonight. It is also my pleasure to share our Web Where Everyone Belongs program with you tonight. This is led by Danielle Seagull, who's here tonight, is our wellness coordinator at our school, and Cassie Frock, who is our campus monitor. You might recognize her from her muscles, and a recent Star Award recipient. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Cassie Frock to introduce our student leaders. Cassie.
Hello, I am Cassie Frock, and I'm one of the web coordinators, and I would like to introduce 2 of our amazing web leaders who have volunteered to give a presentation tonight about where everyone belongs and what it means and what it is. And I'd like to introduce Gabby, and Suvi.
Hello.
So you're going to let you guys take over.
Okay, where's the clicker? Oh, clicker.
It's right there.
Is it on this? You said it was here.
She lied.
Okay. All right, so when you're ready to go to the next slide, I'll click, okay?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Gavi. I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Suvi, and I'm also in 8th grade.
And we're both part of WEB in North Tahoe Middle School. Right now, you will be asking yourself, what's WEB? So, what WEB stands for is Where Everybody Belongs, and is an NTS orientation and transitioning program for 6th graders to feel comfortable in their first year of middle school.
Our web leaders are student leaders who support the 6th graders and help them navigate middle school and set themselves up for success.
So why web? It's for welcoming sixth graders from day one.
Using the transition to middle school.
Positive first year experience.
Building confident eighth grade leaders.
Strengthening school culture.
Increasing kindness and respect.
And creating a safer and more connected school.
These are our web coordinators, Cassie Frock.
And Danielle Seagull.
They complete web orientation and follow-up trainings.
They train web leaders for sixth grade orientation.
They plan and discuss web meetings regularly.
They support web leaders as needed.
And they monitor and celebrate growth and participation.
So in April, in seventh grade, seventh graders applied to become a web leader. And then we have a spring play day that introduces web leaders to activities.
In August of our eighth grade year, we attend a before-school web training, help set up sixth grade web orientation, meet our sixth grade web groups, learn names, lead activities, give a school tour, and answer questions.
In September through April in eighth grade, we have a monthly leadership training with web leaders. We have a monthly lunch meeting with our sixth graders. We teach 2 advisory lessons to all sixth graders, and we present to seventh graders about web and how to become a web leader.
Okay, so now we're going to show you an activity that we do with our sixth graders on their sixth grade orientation.
Yeah, and we would want to invite you guys to play.
Come on up.
Giving you guys, and then each of the board.
And then, yeah, just come and
Come on up.
I'm scared.
You feel like an incoming sixth grader then.
You're in.
You're in, you're out. I'm out.
Okay.
Okay.
Take your straw and put it in your right hand. Take your pointer finger, put it over the top, and cross it over your left hand to meet the other person's straw. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, can we take 5 steps to that door? No, towards that door?
Can you read 5 steps?
Yeah. 5 steps towards that door. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah, don't worry. Now 5 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're gonna go in a circle until we come back to our original spot. Okay? So
Which way?
that way. Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Nice. Okay. You're doing good.
These old people, you know, are kind of slow.
Okay, that's it. You guys want to try anything? You guys have any suggestions?
Jump.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. Anything else?
And,
Okay.
Thank you.
I saw the straws, I was a little nervous.
So girls, try to talk a little closer to the
Okay.
microphone. Nice job.
Yes.
So I'll let them get set up real quick. Okay, so now we're going to ask you, why do you think we choose this game for the sixth graders the very first time we meet them?
Connect, like physically connect and be close to each other, which breaks down every wall.
It does. Any more ideas? Yeah, that's one.
And build trust.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, yeah. And also to have fun, like, that's really important too. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go. In our seventh grade year during like the spring, we wrote web applications, and we're gonna share with you just a few things that some of our students said. So from Leah D, she said, "Something else I would do for the group is being there for them and showing the sixth graders that someone is here for them."
What makes me a good leader? Active listening, include everyone, motivate people, responsible, good thinking, and empathy by Maya Okubi.
And for me personally, why I wanted to be a web leader is I really wanted to like be there for the sixth graders and like help them know that they're there for them. And it was also like, like be there for them.
For me, to become a web leader was really important because in sixth grade I was learning English. I was still learning English, and my web leaders really made me feel so comfortable with them, and I felt like I had someone to talk to.
Yeah, and then one more thing. Like for me, it was really important. It was really cool to see like meet the other kids that came from KBE because I came from TLE, and it was really like it was hard for me because I was like I don't know any of these kids. This is super awkward. But by the end, like Gabby, she was in my web group, and now we're really good friends.
Yeah.
Like it like creates a trust. It's a really good trust and friendship. with others.
Connections, yeah.
Oh, okay. So these are some pictures from our web leaders, giving like a tour of NTS, joining with their group for lunch, the orientation, and like calling each of our sixth graders to invite them to orientation.
And these ones are pictures of us with our sixth graders and during lunch because we meet with them during lunch. We do Kahoot, we do a concentration game, we do memory games, and yeah, it's really fun.
Okay.
And you wrote a letter.
Oh
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Wow.
I don't have questions, but I have comments. if I can.
Yes.
First of all, I think you two, Gabby, and I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Suvi.
I think the two of you are perfect for this job. You guys are great communicators, and it seems like you're very outgoing, and you have the perfect personalities for the kind of work that you're doing. Secondly, from personal experience, I think what you're doing is so important. Trustee Nishimori, and that's quite a mouthful, and I both had kids enter sixth grade last year, not this year they're seventh grade, it was last year. And it was a nerve-wracking time for them to go from fifth grade into sixth grade into middle school. And the fact that you guys are now welcoming them and making them feel at home and working together with them and getting to know them and making them feel like part of the school, I think is going to help them miraculously. I think it's really wonderful what you're doing, so good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love seeing students be part of the presentations, and I like the growth too in seeing that you came in as a sixth grader, and then now that you're in eighth grade, you're able to sort of give back to the sixth graders. So it kind of comes full circle, which is really nice. And I think that those sixth graders will then kind of see that they can also grow into that role, which then they'll take hopefully to high school too, because I know that the high school also has a similar kind of concept of welcoming in all the new freshmen and having them have an orientation and a person that they can connect with. So the more we can connect with each other, the better we're going to be able to listen and communicate and kind of live in each other's shoes and experience everyone else's kind of experiences. So it's really awesome. I love this. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Does anyone have a question of what a Kahoot is by chance? Because Gabby wants to explain it.
Okay, so then I have two questions. I was gonna ask, what is Kahoot? And then, is the web team part of the team that goes into the elementary schools in fifth grade right before the end of the year to kind of, I don't know what they do, but I know they go in, or they used to, so
We
is
bring
that
them
part
to
of
our
it?
school, and yes, they run it.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, so what is Kahoots?
Okay. So Kahoot is like a fun quiz that you can do with like everybody in your class, and it's like a multiple choice question that's like timed, I guess. But it's like multiple choice or true or false, and it's just really fun.
Like a demonstration, please.
Sorta.
We also the Kahoot that we did, it was about Dia de los Muertos, so we were kind of like including the culture, and it was really nice seeing how the kids like actually like knew the answers and how they were like, no, it's this one, no, it's that one, and it was just fun, and like how everyone was like getting included.
Yeah, it was crazy for me because that day, like, my group was completely silent, and then the second we did the Kahoot, they were like, oh, it's that one. It's that one.
So nice.
It was, like, amazing to see these kids who would not say a single word, and then they'd be screaming that it's yellow.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
I just want to say that Chad and Betsy and Cassie, you cannot do this every time like this. You have to speak, so just don't rely on them. It's not fair. I noticed that you guys did all the work. I was just saying, it is one of the coolest things in the world, and we talk about mentors, and we talk about having someone as when you come in, and I think everyone has a trusted adult in our schools, but I think it's extremely important that now, when you think of kids having another kid to hang out with, and that sort of gets rid of some of the other sort of, I wouldn't say bullying or anything like that, but you have a group of kids that are on the same level, which is amazing, and I'm sure some of the sixth graders that you met the first couple days are now your buddies, and so having a sixth grader and an eighth grader is huge, and I think having another, like we talk about skipping a generation so that you're just a little bit older than them, but you're not like an adult, but so that you have this cool relationship, and it just makes that whole school much more, it's a place to be. It's
way better, yeah.
Really, really happy to see it all. But it's been fun, and I think you guys have cool T-shirts. I mean, everybody's part of that. I think it's
She's
good.
gonna hit you up for a T-shirt.
I think I've gotten a T-shirt this year.
She likes the
But,
school
no, really good, and then I will
goodies.
say that when you do, I know we didn't have any school representatives just because of just coming back from holiday, but that's something that you can look into when you're at the high school level to become part of the council. You can come and talk to us, but public speaking is a huge deal, and you both did extremely well.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes. And that's it. You guys are good. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you guys can sneak on
See you
down.
on Monday at your school site.
Okay.
Yay. Well, some of us, yeah, I don't know what people's work schedule is, but see you Monday.
Awesome. That was totally fun. Thank you. And then the art is phenomenal. This is middle school art, which is crazy.
It's amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you very much. And we'll move it to 10.0 Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, President Driller. I want to begin by wishing our Tahoe Truckee community a happy new year. I hope everyone had a restful winter break and feels refreshed and ready for a strong start to the new year. And before we know it, it's going to be June and we're going to be done. And I just have one district update tonight. As the community knows and the board knows, we did submit athletics transition plan. That was a 2-year plan for joining CIF in 28-29 to the California Department of Education. They responded to us on December 22nd during winter break, and it was a rejection letter. So district staff is continuing to work. They've requested a revision. So we're working in collaboration with legal counsel, NI2A, and CIF. And again, I just want to do a shout out to NI2A and CIF. Their leadership has been phenomenal in collaborating with us and really helping us try to find a path forward. So we know this is very important to our community, and we're going to share an update once the plan is finalized. And Amber Burke will be sending out a communication to all district families tomorrow about this news, and we will include the letter we received from CDE. So that's an update on that. And then I just want to remind everyone that the January 21st board meeting, our next one, regular board meeting, will be held at Tahoe Lake Elementary School. So it's our lakeside meeting for the year, and Principal Fochek and her staff will be doing the showcase then. So that concludes my update, President Joller.
Right on my calendar right here. Thank you very much for that. We will now move to 11.0 resolutions. Superintendent Kramer.
And for this item, we will turn to our Assistant Superintendent, Chief Business Officer, Mr. Todd Rivera.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, members of the board. So tonight, we bring to you to review and approve Resolution Number 14, 2025-2026, the resolution of the Board of Education regarding the accounting of developer fees for the fiscal year 2024-25 pursuant to Government Code Sections 66001, et cetera. So as you know, the district collects fees on all new residential and commercial development located within the boundaries of the school district. And as a requirement of that, those government code sections require that we make certain information available annually within 180 days of the closeout of the fiscal year. And just, I won't go through the exhaustive list, but the requirements are that we provide a brief description of the type of fee in the account or fund, the amount of the fee, the beginning and ending balances, and the amount of the fees total that were collected and interest earned, and then also the expenditures that we use the fees for. In addition, we're required to make 5-year findings on any developer fees that were collected 5 years ago and still have not been expended. And then in addition, we also include potential uses for future developer fee collections as well. So I'll briefly go over the annual and 5-year report, which is incorporated into the resolution, along with the citations and criteria that's required. So for our statutory fees, these are called level 1 developer fees. And these are dictated how much we can charge. The state actually determines that amount. And then we have to prepare a residential and commercial fee study, which we're in the process now of updating so we can increase our fees a little bit. It's been quite some time since we have. But right now, what we're authorized to collect based on that last fee study is $3.69 per square foot of new residential construction and up to 61 cents per square foot of commercial industrial construction. And it depends on the different categories of how much commercial fees we collect. We do use other different categories for retail, industrial parks, restaurants, hotels, et cetera. And then we also have a few what we call mutual benefit agreements, and these are outside of the statutory fees that are dictated by the state. These are actually agreements that the district came to directly with developers prior to a subdivision being planned and approved. And we sometimes have variable or different fee structures in those agreements. And also, we have a little more flexibility in how we use those funds as well. Regular developer fees are explicitly to be used for modernizations and new construction and enhancements. So our beginning balance in 24-25 for our statutory developer fees was just over $2.6 million. Last year, we collected just a little bit over $1.5 million. And we accrued $143,000 in interest on those funds. And then our expenditures, which I'll go into detail what that is comprised of, was just a little over $1.9 million, leaving us with an ending balance of $2,351,086.63. So last year, our expenditures consisted of our developer fee administration. The law allows us to use up to 3% of our collections for the administration and collection processes of developer fees. That was approximately $46,000. And then the majority of our developer fee collections in recent years have been used to cover our debt service from our 2019 certificates of participation, which, if you remember, during our last bond program, we issued additional debt in order to complete construction projects. So we're essentially using developer fees we're collecting now to pay back infrastructure improvements and capital improvements that we did during that program. In addition, we spent about $17,000 on the state school facility program management. That's the school facilities program that provides additional funding to school districts based on eligibility. So we do have a consultant that we work with that maintains our eligibility and also helps us apply for any funding that we may be eligible for. And then our bond administration is just past bond measures that we've issued in the past. There's an annual kind of maintenance fee that that U.S. Bank charges us to administer those debt service payments to investors. And then we did spend about $67,000, almost $68,000 on just master planning and project planning for the future. So our total expenses were just over 1 point, almost $2 million.
Wait, Todd, what was
Yep.
the Kings Beach lot?
Oh, that is a long-term lease that we have with the church, because they own the parking lot. Sorry, I should have covered that one too. So that's the annual cost of leasing the parking lot from them. And then for the mutual benefit agreements that I spoke of earlier, our beginning balance was just over $1.7 million. We collected an additional $106,000, and our project expenditures in that account were $839,345.36. And that was exclusively for the indoor field house at Truckee High. That's where those expenditures went to. So our ending balance in that account is $993,501.37. So moving on to the 5-year findings, as I said, the rules are when you collect developer fees, you're supposed to expend that within a five-year period. If you don't, then you're supposed to have reasons or justifications for why you're still holding that into the account and not refunding it to the builder. So we had no funds that were meeting that requirement. We've expended all of our developer fee collections from the past 5 years. But we did actually include potential future spending of developer fees of what we think we might use it. And this is really tied to our last master plan on some of the improvements that we still need in our district. Obviously, the 2019 COP debt service will continue for quite a few years out through 2043. So we are saying that we're going to be dedicating developer fees for that. And then in addition, if we have funds available, we would also try to contribute developer fees towards the portable removal and classroom additions at Glenshire Elementary School, which is an identified master plan project. We're estimating about $1.8 million in developer fees, with the remaining amount coming from a future bond measure. And then in addition, the expansion or replacement of portables at Alder Creek Middle School as well. We're expecting maybe $500,000 in developer fees contributing to that as well. And that is it. So that kind of concludes our annual report and 5-year findings, and that's all included in the resolution as well.
Thank you for that clarification. That's always trying to figure it out. Any comments or questions for Todd? No. I think the only question I asked was, I think you'd mentioned it was, why are we adding, but that you said we haven't increased or changed that in a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite some time
Yep.
since we've updated that.
That's awesome. Okay, with that, trustee, yes.
I was being sort of quiet, but I do appreciate these reports and that we're paying attention to these fees, just because we wouldn't want to have to give them back. They're very valuable, so it's great to see that we're on it and that we're using them for good things and projecting good use of the fees in the future to implement our master plan, so that's awesome.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Danielle. This is an action item. If there's no further questions, would anyone care to make a motion on 11.1?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 14-2025-2026.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. 11.2, Superintendent Kramer.
Yes, thank you, President Driller. Well, I am truly honored and excited to recognize this school board. All of you show incredible dedication and hard work on behalf of all of our students and families. And we are excited to celebrate School Board Appreciation Month in January. So, in case people don't know, being a member of a school board is a monumental task. And frankly, it's not for the faint of heart. So the role demands an exceptional blend of skills. You require the measured wisdom of a judge to interpret policies and navigate complex legal frameworks, the patience of a saint when listening to passionate debates and seeking consensus among diverse viewpoints, and to be honest, probably quite a bit of caffeine, as we notice the teas here, to power through the long hours of meetings, trainings, and packet review. You consistently navigate some of the most complex issues facing our community and honestly unprecedented times for us with our athletics. So budgeting, facilities planning, curriculum approval, and personnel decisions. Every tough call you make, every hour of discussion you dedicate is driven by a singular, unwavering commitment, the betterment of our students and our entire community. We know that your service requires you to step away from your own families and personal lives, volunteering countless evenings and weekends to ensure that the school district not only runs smoothly, but strives for excellence. So thank you for your leadership, your sacrifice, and for all that you do to make our schools and our community a place where every student can succeed. And I know this is one of your least favorite action items, but it is staff's recommendation that you approve the resolution tonight.
Yay. Thank you for that, Superintendent Kramer. Golly, I will make a motion to approve the School Board Appreciation Month, but really appreciate all the comments and sort of outlining sort of what we are trying to do. And I think I'm pretty happy to be with this board. I think we've done a really good job in terms of listening and then sort of discussing hard topics. But I think the input and the insight from every one of you has made this, made it not easy, but made it, what was the word you used? There's no clear-cut solution, but there's a good options. But no, I'm excited to be with this group. Anyone else care to make a comment?
I think it's a privilege to serve this community, both on the Truckee side and the Lake side. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I feel very honored to work with this incredible group of people. We've melded, we've bonded, we've normed, and we've managed to make it through some of the most difficult things the school district has ever come across, and we're continuing to navigate those treacherous waters. So I appreciate all of the hard work, patience, and kindness everyone approaches this work with. And thank you also, Kirsten, for such a nice introduction and such honoring words. Thank you. I'll second if everybody's done. Okay, then I'll second on that one.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much for that. That was good. Wow. 11.3, Superintendent Kramer, we'll get back to you.
Thank you, President Driller. So before you have a chance to discuss this action item, I wanted to provide some context for the proposed resolution to withdraw from the Truckee Tahoe Workforce Housing Agency, and that would be effective January 31st of 2028. So before we look ahead, I just want to take a moment to celebrate the success of the partnership with the TTWHA, with the Workforce Housing Agency since 2020. So we are one of the founding members, so it's been almost 6 years now. And the collaboration has yielded real results. We've successfully placed staff in housing through their concierge model, and excitingly, the JPA facilitated our feasibility study for the Alder Creek parcel, which you can see pictured there. And because of this partnership, we now have the data and the readiness to move to the next phase. So over the last year at the JPA, the Workforce Housing Agency Board meetings, they've been working on strategic plans. And we're noticing that the TTUSD strategic plan and path and the JPA are starting to naturally diverge. And at a recent JPA board discussion, the JPA is definitely pivoting towards an even stronger service-based model, finding matches for the broad regional workforce, and moving away from development. So, they've supported us in these initial steps, but there just doesn't seem to be interest in the construction side. And then conversely, as a district, we're focused on construction. We have the land, and our specific goal is to build units to attract and retain our employees as outlined in our strategic plan. And so to achieve this, we need a development vehicle and not just a service vehicle. And so, as I've talked with the JPA steering committee as well, this really isn't an end to the collaboration, it's just a realignment. So the JPA has done an excellent job building the concierge service, which is a vital for the region and for our staff. Since July of 2025, so just this past summer, 4 returning TTUSD employees used the service to find stable rentals, allowing them to remain living where they work. However, our goal has been and continues to be unit creation. So by separating the construction project from the JPA, we can move faster. And in the future, we look forward to potentially using the JPA's services to fill the units once we build them. So the timeline recommendation is we're proposing kind of a structured transition. So we recommend initiating our withdrawal now and then maintaining membership for 2 years to ensure smooth operations for the JPA, and that would set a withdrawal date of January 31st, 2028. And this allows us to focus our immediate energy on land development while also for utilizing the services throughout the transition and beyond of the JPA. And I think the timing should be about right for both the Workforce Housing Agency and for our school district. 2 more years of our membership provides funding stability for the JPA, and it's seeking to switch to a fee-based service, and having another 2 years of our contribution will help stabilize. And then in 2 years, we contribute approximately $100,000 in a membership fee annually to the Workforce Housing Agency. And so then once we are withdrawn, that fee can go towards the construction and management of our workforce housing project. And so that's the end of the presentation part. I'm happy to answer any questions or just allow you to have a discussion about the resolution. And then I will bring, if you approve the resolution, I will bring the official withdrawal letters to the JPA's meeting on January 21st.
Thank you very much for that. That was definitely a great sort of wrap-up of, I think, what we had talked about. So that's good. Any questions for Kirsten or comments?
Could you please repeat, what is it annually that we're contributing for the next 2 years? Did you say 100,000 per year?
It is based on the number of employees, and so we contribute 102,000 approximately this year, and the prior year, I believe, was like 99,000 and then 98,000. So it's around 100,000 a year. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my family's been a recipient of the concierge services, and we were able to put a TTUSD staff family into our rental. So I love that mission, and I'm very grateful for it. But I agree. I think it's time to realign where our funds go and complete this vision of, supporting our staff and other, other agencies' staff later, right? Because our staff will have priority in the new units, correct?
Yes, and there are member agencies that are interested in building units as well.
Yeah.
And so the majority of the units would be for our staff, but then there might be a few other agencies that buy units as well.
Yeah, so I'm happy to support that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the partnership got us to this point, and had we not had the partnership, I think we would have all been looking at how to problem solve, but without that connection and kind of community that's built from having that partnership. So I see that as, as you grow in your partnerships, you have different visions sometimes, and you take these different paths. And so I think we'll both be successful with this transition. And I like the way that you framed it as a strategic realignment, because that's really what it is. There's the support factor there. We're just sort of taking our own mission and vision and carrying it forward. So it makes sense.
What other agencies are in the JPA?
Okay, let's make sure I can do this. So the Tahoe Forest Hospital District, us, Placer County, Town of Truckee, Truckee Donner Public Utility District, Nevada County, and the Airport District.
And so they are probably staying in the JPA because they're more interested in the service aspect than in the unit construction.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about, in March, we finished the feasibility study and presented it to the JPA, and I thought there would be more interest. You know, we can build up to 72 units, and I thought, okay, we're going to do this. We know that we want about 24 to 30, although we'll survey again to make sure we're making, building the correct amount. But there just really wasn't that much interest in the construction development side. So I think the Tahoe Forest Hospital District utilizes the JPA for a down payment assistance program that they're able to fund. The airport also has that service for their staff. And then, of course, the house matching is a great service to the entire region, because we have homeowners, second homeowners that really want to rent to local employees, and the Workforce Housing Agency helps with all of that. And it's great for our new hires to have someone they can call. It's interesting this year, it just happens to be that no new hires got placed through the JPA, but the JPA may have helped to answer questions and things. Did that answer your question?
Yes,
Like I
it did.
wondered. Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of big agencies involved in the JPA, and it's just nerve-wracking to go out alone on this gigantic project. Well, maybe not gigantic, but this big project that we're undertaking.
Pat, I agree on that one, and we talked about that how we're changing our narrative in the sense that we're obviously putting students first, but where did we ever think that Kirsten Kramer would be thinking of building houses, or units? And so, as much as it is, and it's, again, uncharted territories, once again, Tahoe Truckee, but it is where the need is. And so I think the 2 years of having the support still within this JPA, but I also think that how awesome was it that we started as a collective group with these entities, and then our thoughts changed and our needs changed. But again, Danielle mentioned that we are bringing the whole community together, which we are understanding the needs of, or housing, everyone needs housing at some point or at different levels. But I do think that is I wouldn't say a scare, but it's a new challenge.
Just to remind you, we have the benefit of going to the conference, the CSBA conference. So a lot of school districts have successfully built workforce housing for staff around the state. And this is a priority for California State. So there's a lot of assembly bills that have been passed that really clear the way for us to be able to do this. And we are not the leading edge on this.
Yes.
That's the good news. Todd and I got to participate in a webinar series that CSBA put on. And so there's a lot of support out there as we go through this. And as we know, just down the street, we have an example of a modular construction, the Pacific Commons going in, and then the town has, is it Paradigm 8 over, so it's kind of exciting, but we're not alone. I don't want you to feel like we're alone.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of examples out there and school districts that have done this successfully that we're learning from.
I think that was something I forgot, that we did hear that at the CSBA, that there were other districts have done the same thing, which is where we're at, which is kind of cool. But then, again, there's other, and that was the other thing I think that I wrote in one of my notes, is that there is funding out there. Like, there's different funding that hasn't been out there, so I think it's awesome. This is an action item, so is there any other questions or comments for Superintendent Kramer on this item? Seeing none, I'm going to make a motion to approve Resolution 162526, because I think it's awesome.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you. Moving to 12.0, Business Services, back to Superintendent Kramer.
And then back to Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. So tonight we ask you to consider and approve change order 25-0038 MCO number 1 with Barth Roofing Company in the amount of $17,462. And just to give you some background, we engaged with a third-party independent contractor last year called Benchmark that does specifically roof evaluations and roof assessments to help us with making minor repairs and identifying those areas that might need repair, but also extending the life of our roofs. And then also giving recommendations for when we might need major repairs or replacements. So at that time, we kind of broke up that assessment over 2 years. So initially, we had a handful of our sites that we had identified minor damages that we wanted to make repairs on to make sure that we're safe for the winter, but also, to extend the life of those roofs. And then later, we did additional assessments this summer, and that identified some additional repairs that were needed at other sites. So initially, we were looking at, the original contract for this was about $45,000. It was time and materials because we didn't know exactly how much it would take to make those identified repairs. And then later, when we had additional information on those other sites, we added additional work to this contract. Just to make sure we're covering those issues and making sure that we're winter ready, essentially. So we ask that you approve this change order in the amount of $17,462.
Are there any questions for Mr. Rivera from the board? I was going to ask, you said that there were 17,000 for other ones. Was it one particular school, or did it cover a lot?
I think it was over 4 additional
I think- okay.
sites. Yeah.
Awesome. I just didn't want them all to be at one site. No. With that, if there's no questions, could someone make a motion to approve?
I will move to approve the change order with Barth Roofing for miscellaneous roof repair.
I'll second.
In favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, even though it's a change order, but 25, that's not bad. Moving to B, fiscal services, Superintendent Kramer.
Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. So tonight, I'm pleased to present the 2024-25 audit report, which signifies the end, essentially, financially for our 24-25 fiscal year. And first off, I just want to thank the Fiscal Services Department and Patricia Kowalski, but also all of the other departments in the district and also all the school sites, because everyone contributes to this process. And it's not just about financial statements, it's also about state and federal compliance, including things like instructional minutes and everything else that Ed Code requires us to do. So I won't get too much into it because we have Moran Murphy here from Crow LLC, who's our external auditor, and she's going to kind of cover the highlights of the report for you.
Push. There we go. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name's Moran Murphy. I'm your audit manager with Crow, your external audit firm. Happy to be back for another year to present your audit results. So just to give a little bit of background, we perform our audits under government auditing standards, and we use generally accepted auditing standards to do that. And at the end of our process, we issue an opinion over the financial statements, federal compliance, and state compliance, like Todd just said. We do all of this while taking a risk-based audit approach, and we also use a concept of materiality. So that means we're not looking at every single dollar that comes in and out of the district. We're looking at those items that are more materially impacted. We also do, oh wait, sorry, I messed up here. If you've seen our audit reports before, you know our results are towards the back of the page. So on page 87 of the PDF, if you have that open, or if you're looking at the hard copy version, that's going to be page 79. I'll just jump right into the results. So first, for the financial statements, we had an unmodified opinion. That is the highest level of assurance that we can provide as auditors, otherwise known as a clean opinion. So really great results there. For the financial statements, for federal compliance, we audited one program this year, the special education cluster, and we didn't have any findings to report there. So once again, another unmodified opinion. And finally, state compliance. This one is huge this year. You guys had no state compliance findings and unmodified opinion. It's very rare that we have clients without state compliance findings. So again, like Todd said, many people are involved in that process. A lot of different state compliance requirements coming in at the site level, district level. So very happy to report that there were no state compliance findings this year.
Excuse me for interrupting. Amber, did you get that?
Yes, so big congratulations on that. Okay, so that goes over the results. I'll just go into some required communications that I have. First is related to audit adjustments. So we did have one waived audit adjustment, so that did not get posted to the financial statements. That was related to an unamortized premium related to your certificate of participation. So not really anything of concern there, just sort of a, an administrative item that we have to address and as a waived adjustment. We did have one posted adjustment, but I would say that was client proposed by Todd and his team. There was some inconsistencies with the ASB activity that was reported. It was really small. It was only about $54,000. So it wasn't even required to be adjusted, but management felt it was appropriate to bring those balances up to be accurate as of June 30, 25. And then we did have one new accounting standard that was implemented during the year. So GASB statement number 101 related to compensated absences. This new standard just sort of broadened the definition of what's included as a compensated absence. So previously the district had been reporting just vacation accruals because that was all that was required. The big impact of this new standard is to report sick leave as well for all of your employees. So the district actually hired an actuary to perform this calculation, and after they did their calculation and looked at all the previous data, they found that it was about $6.8 million in sick leave liability that was to be reported. So as a result, we restated the beginning net position by that $6.8 million. And I just want to emphasize that that number doesn't hit any of the funds. It's all part of government-wide long-term debt. So no budgeting aspect or anything like that. We did not have any difficulties with the management team. They did not go opinion shopping, if you will. And we didn't have any events that would require a conversation before having this meeting today. We also did not have any situations that impaired our independence. And I'll just close out by saying thank you so much to the whole business office, everyone at the site level. It takes a whole village to do this audit, and we're here, almost all year long. So thank you to everyone that's involved, and happy to have another great audit. I could take any questions.
Todd, take a bow. Jeez, gosh. How many years is that?
We've had pretty good results.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Last year, but yeah.
That's, no, we as a board level talk about being, obviously for the students, but part of it is judicially conscientious. And I think that you have overproven yourself. Well, we'll keep you is what I'm trying to say. But no, I think it's extremely, there's so many, as we're now looking at 24, 25, finishing this year, and we're, already in the other 20, we're 2 years ahead. But it definitely, it makes us feel comfortable that it's out there and that we see it and that you're disclosing it, and then we're not, that's great. Thank you very much for that finding.
Yeah.
Any comments, Pat?
Yeah, I'd also like to say, Todd, that's a remarkable report, and you're doing remarkable work. And I think the important part of that is that it allows us to not worry about that and keep our eye on the ball. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, same. I echo the other comments of my fellow trustees, because I feel like it's a lot of work, just collecting all the information, making sure it's accurate, and because there's always, sort of these moving targets with state requirements and things, to stay on that is just such a difficult task. So it really is remarkable to not have any findings for that. So awesome job.
So thank you to the business office, but also to all the school sites for keeping their together.
Okay, that is awesome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being
thank
here.
you.
This is an action item. So, Danielle, here
I'll
you
make
go.
a motion to approve the 24-25 audit report.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. And I totally like your jacket. Totally fun, well-dressed. Yes, as you should. It looks great. Thank you. Okay. Wow, thanks a lot. Moving to 13.0 donations, Superintendent Kramer.
Yes, and for this, we turn to our Executive Director of Student Services, Dr. Anne Marie Cohen.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, Board of Trustees, and community. The Optimist Club of Truckee has generously donated $1,000 to support Sierra High School with their positive behavior program. Their generous annual donation supports Sierra High School's ongoing CREED school-wide incentive program. This incentive program is one component of the Sierra High School social emotional behavioral system. The incentive program is used to increase student attendance, strengthen positive student behavior, and enhance student performance. There continues to be great success with the students earning CREED coins, which are wooden nickels with the Sierra High School logo, as they follow and exceed the school-wide expectations and exceed their own expectations. It is staff's recommendation that the Board of Trustees accept this donation from the Optimist Club of Truckee for the positive behavior program at Sierra High School. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much, Truckee Optimist Club again. Are there any comments?
No, just thank you so much. Sierra High deserves it.
I just wanted to say thank you for recognizing the specific needs for this particular population of students at Sierra High. The Sierra Optimist Club, I think, plays a really big role, as well as with the scholarships that they bring to the students in the end of the school year every year. And I hear a lot of positive feedback from parents of students at that campus who would otherwise have fallen through the cracks. So thank you again. With that, and no other comments, I'll move to approve.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Moving to 13.2, Superintendent Kramer.
And this time, we'll turn to our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Mrs. Shawn Roderick.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. Good evening, President Driller, Board of Trustees, and community. The Larson Living Trust has generously donated $1,000 to the Sierra High School Forestry and Natural Resource CTE program. This donation will be used to help fund a student trip to Montana, where the students will showcase the Wolf Project documentary at the international level. It is staff's recommendation the Board of Trustees accepts this generous donation from the Larson Living Trust.
Before we have any comments, who do I talk to about going on that trip?
That would be Mr. Santos.
I'm already on that one. Okay, I'm driving.
you.
I've already got that. Any comments from the board? I went first this time. I was very, very forceful. Living Trust. So I love the fact that we are, as a team, reaching out for donations and that there are people out there. I did hear from NPR that there are so many people giving, and I think it's awesome that we've highlighted. This is fortunate that Sierra High has got both of them this time, but I really am excited that we're getting support for those projects, and sounds exciting. I'll have to find out more on that one. With that, I'll make a motion to accept that donation from the Larson Living Trust for Sierra High. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Awesome.
And I know Mr. Santos will present when they are ready, but I just want to hear all the details. Like, how did this opportunity come about? What does it look like? Who gets to go? Student and teacher-wise. I'm super excited. No rush, but when they're ready, I would like a proper, this is how this came about, and this is what we get to do.
I will work
So
on that.
exciting. Thank you.
That was cool. 14 point, we're getting to you guys, Aaron. Just stay right there. 14.0 consent agenda. Are there any items that need to be pulled from the consent?
Not from
you
staff.
or cabinet? Anyone else from the board? With that being presented, would anyone care to make a motion to approve the consent as presented or posted?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Moving to 16.0, associations. Superintendent Kramer.
Yes, and I am delighted to invite up our president of the CSEA, Mrs. Melissa Cruz.
I'm already on. Hello, board and cabinet, and Amber and Aaron. I'm Melissa Cruz, chapter president for CSEA. or you can call me Grandma if you want. Yay! My oldest son, whom I graduated with in my tummy 9 months pregnant 25 years ago from this district, is now 25 and became a proud daddy of Charlotte May, which obviously made our holidays amazing, and I truly hope you guys also had amazing holidays. So I'm excited to say that we have another labor rep for our chapter. She's been with CSEA for quite a number of years, so she's experienced. She knows what she's doing. She's not brand new. She's not on probation. And she's coming to us from the Yuba City region. So I'm really excited about that, and I think she's going to be really helpful for our members. So her name is Elena. So hopefully I can bring her around to introduce everybody shortly. I want to give a shout out to our custodial maintenance warehouse for their snow removal efforts, which we haven't had a ton of snow yet. And that also brought me to a thought. Have we ever had a school year without a snow day? Yes. We have. How many years ago?
I was in school, so.
You were a student? Wow. But you don't remember what year? Okay.
I think I was like 8th grade.
Oh my gosh.
We had like 3 drought years in a row. And
76, 77.
Okay. I don't really want a drought year, but it'd be kind of cool to get out of school earlier. So, let's see. In all seriousness, I know we are dealing with a ton of real things with sports, changes in laws for our departments. And I just want to say that our unity as a district and a community, I think, is huge. It makes a huge difference. And we as CSEA, me and my team and our unit, will give all the support and collaboration that we can. We'll come up with ideas, try to be creative, come up with some solutions to move forward, to try to avoid as much turmoil and disruption as possible. So that's what we're here for. To wrap it up, I was looking at our school menu yesterday, I think it was, and our amazing school service or food service department put some really heartfelt quotes at the bottom. I don't know if you guys all noticed them. They were all by Martin Luther King Jr., and so I thought I'd kind of put them out there because some people don't read all the things. First one, the time is always right to do what is right. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. So, Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. That was awesome. 16.2.
Yes, and we're delighted to invite up Mrs. Erin Lefevers, the president of TTEA.
Maybe we'll switch it next time and we'll put TTEA first. You never know.
Yeah, we'll go alphabetical. So, well, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everybody had a nice, restful break. I know it was nice to kind of ease into it, and we had a very quiet Christmas. We only had it with the girls up here, and we saw my kids later. So, yeah, enjoyed the 2 weeks off. It's been hard getting back to school and talking to hundreds plus students a day, but yeah. And speaking of which, with the snow hitting, the griping Monday morning about why wasn't it a snow day? I said, because it stopped snowing last night. I don't know. Then I said, and everybody cleared snow. So we have a great team on there. So it's nice to see snow. Some of the students in my class that are on the ski teams and snowboard teams were just really bummed that their first couple races were canceled. And I said, well, running down a dirt hill is a little dangerous, so it was good fun. TTEA did do our equity training. I was going to report that last month, but in light of the sport conference, all that information, and we are looking for the next steps is to kind of look at an equity team within the district with all parties, and then even expanding it. We have one member who's thinking about this could be a community thing. And then I got really tired. But that's what we're looking at, is just to kind of continue our equity work with making sure that everybody's feeling safe and comfortable on all of our campuses, at all of our buildings, in all of our departments, and in our community. And then just a little bit of that little bubble with the compression salary schedule for that certificated, or, yeah. And looks like my email was quiet after the January 2nd paychecks went out, so we put out a little calculator for people to use on their salaries, and so far that seems to be pretty good. So thank you, Todd, for all of that on there. And yeah, welcome back. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. 17.0, Superintendent Kramer.
Yes, and for this item, we turn back to Mrs. Roderick.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. Tonight, we are presenting the 2025-2026 California Dashboard results based on the 2024-2025 academic year. This is our annual check-in on the district's health, covering everything from test scores to school climate. Tonight, we will review the district's key areas of success. We'll also take a close look at our specific challenges regarding absenteeism and suspension. And to conclude, we'll outline our next steps for addressing these challenges while continuing to build on our progress. The dashboard is California's accountability system. It moves beyond just a single test score to give parents and the community a holistic view of how we're meeting the needs of all students using multiple state and local measures. The dashboard uses a color-coded system ranging from blue, the highest, to red, the lowest. It is important to remember that our color isn't determined by our current score alone. It is also driven by the change from the prior year. This means you can have a good score, but if it drops significantly, your color ranking will drop. Conversely, showing improvement is what leads to green or blue rating. Performance levels appear as a semicircle gauge divided into color segments: red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, with an arrow pointing to the district's current level. We will start with our academic performance, which is a major area of celebration for TTUSD. Tonight, we're proud to report significant achievement in our core academics. Both ELA and math have achieved green performance rating. ELA scores are currently 23.7 points above the standard, up 4.6 points, while math saw a strong growth of 7.1 points. Additionally, our college and career readiness is rated green, with over 60% of our students graduating prepared, an increase of 2.7%. However, we did identify English learner progress as an area of concern, rated orange. Although nearly half of our EL students are making progress, the rate has declined by 9.6% from our year-over-year statistics. We are excited to celebrate a major accomplishment. We have earned a blue rating, the highest possible for our graduation rate. We achieved a 95.4% graduation rate, marking a significant 5.7 increase from last year. Regarding chronic absenteeism, our shift from green, 9.8%, to red, 13.8%, warrants a deeper look. This change is largely statistical, driven by the rapid 4% increase in new tracking methods for excused absences and independent study, rather than a breakdown in school culture. It is important to understand the dashboard's paradox. Although our dashboard color is red, our actual attendance figures are significantly better than the state average, specifically 3.3% better. This rating reflects the volatility of our data change this year, not our standing as a high-performing district. While TTUSD remains a low suspension district with a rate of just 2.1%, we saw a slight year-over-year increase that shifted our dashboard from green to yellow. Because the state accountability system penalizes any upward trend, even from a historical low, this shift has flagged the need for review. Rather than viewing this as a deficit, we're treating this as an opportunity to audit our proactive and reactive strategies. Now we move into our slides to look at our specific data as a district compared to that against the state of California. When looking at a comparative data, we must address, again, the dashboard paradox, our chronic absenteeism. This comparison is critical in understanding our performance truly sits within the broader state context. On the dashboard, TTUSD is rated red, while the state is rated yellow. However, this visual rating is misleading. If you look at it in isolation, our actual attendance figures are significantly better than the state average by 3.3%. The red rating is a result of a system change last year, causing a dip in our overall rating. Similarly, TTUSD remains a low suspension district with a rate of just 2.1. However, because the state system penalizes that upward trend, we shift it from green to yellow. Despite this shift, our absolute rate remains low compared to the broader trends. When we look at TTUSD compares to the state of California preparing our students for their futures, this data tells a positive story. We are outperforming the state significantly. TTUSD has achieved the blue rating with the graduation rate of 95.4%. By comparison, the state average sits at 87.8%, earning a green rating. This puts us well ahead above the state average, ensuring our students complete their high school journey. The trend continues with our preparedness. TTUSD is nearly 9 percentage points higher than the state average in terms of students graduating fully prepared for college or career. This gap highlights the success of our secondary programs in equipping students with the tools they need for life after graduation. Moving to our core academic performance, the gap between our district and the state average illustrates the strength of our instructional programs. In ELA, TTUSD is rated green and is currently 23.7 points above the standard. In sharp contrast, the state average is classified as yellow and sits 8.1% below standard. This places our district significantly ahead of the state performance curve. The distinction is even more critical in math, where we're currently 2.4 points below the standard and closing the gap. The state average is struggling significantly at 42.4% points below standard. While we have growth in our goals, our performance remains far superior to the broader state context. Our data regarding English learner progress requires an explanation because the colors on the dashboard can sometimes obscure the actual performance data. Although TTUSD is rated orange on this metric, a higher percentage of our EL students are actually making progress compared to the state. Specifically, 49.5% of TTS students are making progress compared to 46.4% at the state level. The reason we're rated orange, while the state may be rated higher, is due to the change over time. Our rate declined year over year, whereas the state maintained its progress. So while we're performing better in absolute numbers, the decline is our own historical data triggered the lower color rating. What are we looking at for our areas of improvement? While the shift on the dashboard colors and for chronic absenteeism red and suspension rate yellow reflect a year of data recalibration, it primarily serves as a mandate for growth. Our opportunity lies in a unified focus on student engagement. By leveraging the diagnostic clarity of our new tracking systems, we can now identify the earliest signs of disengagement, whether that appears as an attendance gap or a behavioral incident. Moving forward, we will align Tier 1 interventions to ensure that our strategies for what we call showing up and acting responsibly work in tandem. This will allow us to refine our culture of belonging, addressing root causes to ensure students are not just counted, but present, connected, and learning. Within suspension, we are specifically doubling down on our Tier 1 supports and ensuring that school removal is last resort, prioritizing restorative practices and alternative means of corrections to keep students in the classroom and learning. When we look at changes in attendance and accounting accuracy within areas, our student information system, We anticipate a color change for the 2026 dashboard. The district continues to focus on educating on the importance of school attendance and absenteeism and the impact it has on long-term success. Additionally, we will continue to focus on using our our A2A attendance metric and diving deeper into our dashboard data. As we look at our next steps, we're focused on sustaining the positive momentum we've established while strategically addressing areas for growth. We will continue to sustain professional development in academic areas to keep our instructional practices current and effective. We'll continue to focus our continuation of integrated ELD strategies across core curriculum to better support our English learning students. Our approach will be data-driven, utilizing ongoing data to review and modify our cycles of inquiry, providing real-time support. We'll also leverage our professional learning community data analysis to ensure consistent and effective instruction actions across schools. And finally, we're committed to focusing on our attendance and suspension rates. In conclusion, we want to reiterate TTUSD's core commitments. First and foremost, we will remain dedicated to following our strategic plan's action steps, ensuring that every initiative aligns with our long-term goals for student success. We're also renewing our focus on working with our attendance programs to ensure students are in class and ready to learn. And a critical focus remains on our English learners to intensify our efforts to support them and develop strategies to support learning. As we conclude for the evening, we have significant achievements to acknowledge. We are proud to celebrate our strong graduation and college career improvements, and most importantly, we'd like to celebrate our students and educators for their hard work and accomplishments. Thank you, and we are happy to take any questions regarding specific indicators.
Thank you, Sean. Comments? Question?
Can you, you explained it, and I didn't quite catch it. The reason that the attendance data, I'm not sure if there's a word you use, was skewed because of the attendance situation with the A2A or something, there was something going on.
So in Aries, what we recognized early last year, that we were reporting students who were absent as present. And that came about doing an audit of revamping Aries and ensuring all of our statistical data was correct. With our new CalPADS coordinator, as well as our Aries coordinator, Dr. Cohen and I, were brought to that attention that we were misreporting that absent level in Aries. So we had to correct it to actually match what our students were doing. That caused it, yeah.
When actually it was probably the same.
Probably the same, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so I'm glad you talked a little bit about the English learner numbers, because with the increase in parent engagement from this population, it was off to, like, it doesn't correlate, right? Because you always think about, okay, well, the teachers do everything they can do, so what's happening at home, right, when a student is struggling or what have you. So I'm glad that you addressed that. I don't know, like, I still feel like that doesn't really, I don't know, line up. And I know you have next steps, and they're included in the next steps. And so I'm just a little nervous, because we have the most parent engagement we've ever had in this district from this group of families, and yet, I don't know, it's just talk to me.
Yeah, we're getting there, and feel free to jump in. I'm just getting excited. So
Yeah,
may I respond, Sean, or would you like to? Why don't you go first, and then?
So what we know is last year we started to put that intentionality in on our, not only our designated ELD, but our integrated ELD. So throughout this entire year, our focus has been within the curriculum, how to integrate strategies that support our EL learners through all core curricula. The first 2 years of the strategic plan, the focus was really that designated ELD component, so it was a smaller group of students. Now we broaden it to be core, embedded in all curricular areas. And so I would expect that that will be one metric to bring us up, because we're seeing it in our local LEA data. Our students on their DIBELS assessment and their iRadia assessments are showing great growth. And so now when it goes to the CASP, that's what this is all coming from. It's like helping the students feel comfortable taking assessments to move forward to when they see the CASP assessment. It's a type of the same mentality, same like structure of what they've learned through their local LEA assessments. Again, but we looked at it. I will say transparently, when it came through, I'm like, why? Because we've been doing all this hard work. And so that's why when I started working on this year's instructional plan for 26, 27, 27, 28, designated ELD, integrated ELD is one of our primary focuses from the Ed Service Department. Like, we felt like we were hitting our stride, and our data doesn't say we have, so we're going to continue to refine it, and I'm hoping with the new ELA program, that will help us also lift, because we see stronger scores in math than we do in ELA.
And then the parent piece. So the Golden Bell that we got recognition for was really the phase one. So we've increased participation, and our district English Learner Advisory Committee is very consistent. They feel empowered. And they're comfortable bringing things to their school and to the district now. And so the shift this summer in our training with our national level community engagement trainer is now to build on that, and it's how parents can support kids at home. So at our middle school, at both North Tahoe Middle School and Alder Creek, they're working on helping parents access jump rope, which is the tool for grades that students have, and parents can go in and see how students are doing on assignments. And we did it at the workshops in the summer, and they did a review. And so and they helped train the parents on questions to talk with their students about, and how to review the report and have a conversation and be aware, like flag sooner if a student's starting to get behind, and how to ask for help. So we're starting to shift now that we have engagement and participation and parents feel safe and supported. Now we'll start looking at how it becomes an academic. What the saying the trainer said is that community engagement or parent engagement is an academic strategy. And so we're starting to shift to that, if that makes sense.
Yes, so now it's almost like the application piece. They're in, now how to apply what we are offering them. Okay, thank you. And then our absenteeism, I just don't know, like, I just keep going back to, what is the program we do in the summer?
Aim high?
Yeah, just they're 95%. It's like, I want that. I appreciate the report, thank you. I just didn't get that disconnect and, with the English learners, but yeah, thank you.
You're not alone.
I think this was an amazing illustration of, I really like the color bars and everything, instead of just like numbers. That makes it a lot easier to understand and to see. It'd be a little bit easier if the font was larger and the actual like little squares were a little bit bigger, because these aging eyes are having a hard time discerning. That would be my only suggestion. However, I do want to explore further potentially the role AI can play in English language learners' acquisition of math skills, because AI can teach Spanish math. And there was a discussion at the CSBA conference that I went to that sort of covered that. And I think in collaboration with Khan Academy, and the Khan Academy is also converting over to AI. And I think that Khan Academy is going to be a great crosswalk for our kids who really need that instruction in their primary language, especially for such an abstract science. English is one thing, reading is another thing, math,
Another level.
is a whole different world. And the reason I say that too is because we need these students to be in our workforce. We need these students to be competitive. And one of the takeaways from the conference that we went to as well was we also need to teach them how to leverage AI and to not be afraid of it, and to teach their parents how to leverage AI and not be afraid of it. It's not about like digital identity and all that scary stuff that's going on. It's about really delving into they are going to have to learn how to leverage it. And if we're not teaching that to them, we are missing out on something really important. So it is now a part of a revolution similar to the revolution of the tech boom and the Google boom and the dot-comer boom. It's like the AI boom is here, and it's not just a bubble that's going to explode. It's changing the way educators are talking about education. And I guess in closing, one of the primary messages that we received, Danielle was in there, right? These guys were talking serious stuff. They were all like PhDs, Stanford, people who had been part of these previous revolutions were compelling us to say, don't wait for state and California or federal legislation. Be a part of the change, initiate it locally, and become a model. Don't wait for other people to catch up to you. And I guess, I don't know, am I missing? There were a lot of things that they talked about, but there's more to talk about, especially with English language learners all over the world, right? Not just Spanish. So that's all I had to say, and thank you very much for your presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I think all well said. This is an info only. I appreciate the explanations of why, like, obviously we look at these red marks and we're like, oh my God, why? So that's good, and I think it's also important why we do these presentations is so we can see, like, I think we're all visual, at least I'm a visual, but it's nice to see that we do have, we're not 100% perfect, but we are addressing what we know because we can see it, so thank you for sharing our dirty laundry, but.
Highlight our successes too, because there was a lot of great colors as well.
Totally good. And I think that that's, again, curriculum's been tough. Like, I think it's in having to get new pilot programs of all kinds of different curriculum has been tough. And I think it's an ever-changing, as Kirsten was saying, ever-changing. It's not an easy hat to wear. And so being able to dissect what information's out there and being able to get it to us so that we all understand. And then also just the steps we've been taking to get us there. Danielle mentioned something about our community just being totally involved. I think that's one of those things that the more we are involved with everything, the easier these difficult decisions or these difficult challenges are going to be. So I think it's awesome. Thank you for that. That is an info only, so we'll thank you for the presentation, and we'll move on to 18.0. Superintendent Kramer.
Mrs. Roderick. Thank you.
Back at you.
Back at me. Tonight, I'm bringing to you for first read and action a change to Board Policy 6142.7 regarding physical education and activity. This change reflects a directive from the California Department of Education, which we have removed the previous section regarding the 2-year exemption and replaced it with specific statutory language. Under Education Code 51241, the superintendent or designee may now exempt a student from PE coursework for any 2 years during grades 10 through 12 at the completion of the physical fitness exam. However, this exemption comes with 2 requirements. First, it requires the student's consent. Second, the student must have met at least 5 of the 6 standards on the state physical test in grade 9. It is the staff's recommendation that the board approve this revision to Board Policy 6142.7, physical education and activity. Are there any questions?
Any comments or questions? The only comment I was going to make is that I would like our physical education program to include And they can get exempt if they would like. But every one of our Tahoe Truckee students should do the Tahoe Rim Trail as part of their gym class. That would be my wish. You know, we have,
Expense to doing the TRT,
what?
President Driller.
No, they just walk it. And if they bring their own food. But I mean, again, I think that would be an ultimate, you know, you talk about a legacy plan. That'd be my plan when I leave, being a physical educational person, that they should
That'd be very cool.
be kind of cool. Someone should pick that up, students that are out there listening. With that, that is an info and action. Any other comments? I'll make a motion to approve the board policy revision. 6142.7. Couldn't read it.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Perfect. Moving us to 19.0, board business. Danielle, you have to start us off with your most exciting news.
Oh.
You'll be going back east.
Yeah, my son is now officially on a national lacrosse team, so lots more travel. Yeah.
She wasn't busy enough.
A lot of trips to the East Coast, but yeah. I don't have anything else really to report. The holidays were busy.
I have a few things. The high school ski racing season finally started today. As Aaron mentioned earlier, a couple races had been canceled in December, but they got their first race in at Sierra Tahoe today under lightly snowing skies. I have no results at this time, but the race went off very smoothly, and we have record number of students attending today's race, and I'm hoping it keeps up. Usually we start off with big numbers and they tend to dwindle, but we had more than I've seen in quite some time, so it was great to see the kids on the hill. The other thing is Project Graduation is having a fundraiser, a trivia night at the Alibi on Thursday, January 15th from 6 to 8:30. That is January 15th from 6 to 8:30 at the Alibi. Trivia night, come and support Project Graduation and demonstrate your incredible trivia knowledge. And finally, on a sad note, a longtime teacher of the school district, Doris Lucchese, passed away last month. She was taught at Truckee High School, I'm going to say possibly even from the mid-'60s on into the early '90s, or maybe a little bit later. She was known for her character and her ability to really make kids think. She's a social studies teacher, and she retired, I think, 20 years ago or so. But as a young teacher there, I remember her pushing me around, and she was something else.
Okay, so for me, in a school year of virtually no snow, I think that so many people deserve a shout out for getting the kids back to school on Monday, not just their family members, because I know a lot of kids thought they were going to get a snow day. But just a shout out to the Weather Watch team, which means meets in the middle of the night, custodial staff, facilities, bus drivers, site leaders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you, and yeah, we're on the back side of a school year, so hopefully the snow will be enough for skiing and mellow for keeping our schools open down at lake elevation, so.
Yeah, basically what she just said.
I am going to also tell you that we did lose one of the most amazing nursery school matriarchs of the world. Mrs. Jones passed away, who was a TC&S originator back up 1960s up at Squaw, or Palisades, excuse me. And there'll be a service, I think, in April. But yeah, tough go. And then my only other thing that I did, school-related, was that I was with Measure AA, that I forgot to mention before, that our COC, Citizens Advisory Committee, very exciting that we volunteerism. We have a chairperson who has stepped in and has been awesome. His name's Hayden Pruitt. And then the last meeting, Amanda Helm volunteered to take over the assistant chairperson position, which just needs a public shout out to both of them for being on this committee. and know that their job is oh so important. But if you do see Hayden or Amanda, please give them a big pat on the back and say thank you very much. And we all know that their job is a lot of work, but they're excited to help us with our Measure AA, which will be coming up shortly. And with that, we'll adjourn our meeting at 7:04.